Yo, what's up guys? Teacher Paul here, and today we have a very special video. And not only this is a special video, but we also have a special guest. I'm here with Conrad Molden.
Hi, Paul. Thanks for having me.
Okay, hi, how are you? It's nice to meet you.
I'm really great. I'm excited to be on. I saw you reacting to some of my videos. It was really nice.
Indeed,
I'm
okay.
excited to do this with you.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I reacted to Conrad's videos where you guys requested and it was really nice. So it's actually very good to connect. So it's pretty cool. And it's very nice that you came on because today, guys, we're going to look at a few pictures and talk about a few things that, well, my culture does, which we find normal, but I have a sense that you guys are going to find weird. So essentially, it's what we do, which we find normal, but you guys might find weird. And you're going to represent Denmark, right?
Yes. So I'm originally from the UK, but I've been living in Denmark for more than 12 years, something like that. So it's more my home than England is.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel the same way. Like I was born in Brazil, but I've spent more time outside Brazil. So I think that gives me also a POV from someone kind of like an outsider. Because when I went back to Brazil, essentially to live there, I was like, wait, these things are kind of weird, but okay. Let's start with the first thing. I don't have a picture for this one, and you'll understand why. But on my first thing of the list is, guys, don't judge us, okay? We're very clean people, right? But we don't flush our toilet papers ever.
Okay. So where's it going then?
It goes into the bin until it's full, and then we throw it away. So we never flush.
I love you.
Okay, and is that bin next to your toilet?
Yeah, so we have the toilet, and right next to it we have a bin where we wipe, and then we discard it on the inside the toilet bin. And there's a very, well, I would say it's a sad thing because if we do flush it, it clogs up our toilets. Simple toilet paper clogs up our toilets. So and it's unheard of, like flushing our toilet paper. It's just something that we are used to doing because of the plumbing system. So it's not something weird we do. It's like not like we enjoy storing toilet paper. It's not like a hobby of ours, but it's just something we do because otherwise it would flush. It would flood the toilet.
Whose job is it to take the toilet paper out?
Well, our own. Like we just store it there, and then we throw it away, just like our normal waste, our normal garbage. But it's for
Okay, you're the worst member of the family this week. It's your job to take the shit bin.
that would be a good family arrangement, right? Like if you want to punish your kids or stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, normally that's what we do. So that's something, it's a normal thing, which I'm sure people find weird. And when people come to places like, like the UK, especially like hotels, I think people find it weird. Like, it's like, why are people storing like poop-filled toilet paper on the bin? And that's why, because our plumbing system is so thin that it would clog up. it's just something we have to live with.
Parts of Brazil, I imagine it gets kind of hot. Does it get kind of smelly in the bathroom if you got the poo bin next to you?
It does, yeah, it does. And especially in hot days, you have like warm, hot poop in your waste bin. Okay, so any more questions about that?
I'm just wondering, it must be strange when you must get foreigners who come who don't understand, flush it down the toilet, block the toilet,
Yeah.
and all the Brazilians must be like, come on, guys.
I've done that myself because I was in Brazil like in December last year, and I kept flushing and forgetting, and then it got clogged up twice, and I'm like, I really need to get used to and even the hand movement. It's just easy, like if you wipe and let go, but
Yeah, right.
if you wipe, pull your hand out.
You need like a sign. Remember.
Yeah, there is a sign in public toilets where it says "Don't flush toilet paper," and you have like rubbish bins right next to the toilets. But because I think a lot of foreigners do that.
Yeah, it probably has it in like English, German, Italian, and not Portuguese. It's just all the foreigners.
Yeah, we're so used to it as a culture, and we don't even realize that it's strange. Like when my mother-in-law came here, I told her flush the toilet paper, and she's like, "Wait, what? You can do that?" It's so ingrained in our daily life. But as I said, we are clean, so it's not it's just a plumbing issue.
The plumbing issue is not that Brazilians love to store,
Yeah,
enjoy.
it's not something we enjoy. No. Okay, so guys, the dynamic is going to be like this. I'm going to share one thing, and then Conrad is going to share one thing, and we're going to go from there. Okay. Do you have a picture for this one?
I do. Yes, I sent you this image. It's called fastelavn.
Okay, so whenever you want me to open it, then I will. Okay.
You can pop it up. So mine is a little more sweet, a lot more sweet. Basically, here in Denmark, and it's coming up soon, we have a very big and popular tradition known as fastelavn. You can't really translate it into English because they don't have a real name for this, but it basically comes from the Middle Ages.
Okay, let me just pull it up for you guys to see. So, okay, here we go.
Oh, no,
Okay.
this is the wrong image.
Okay, I'm getting the wrong.
You need the one with starting with F.
Starting with F.
The letter F, yeah.
Okay, let me pull that one up. Okay, this one, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So in the Middle Ages, there would be Lent under the Catholic religion, which is all about fasting, and deserving food. A lot of that went when the Protestant Reformation came into Denmark in the 16th century. But one of the big traditions that's kept on is called slå katten tunnen, which basically means hit the barrel until the cat comes out.
Until the cat?
Yeah.
Wait, there's a cat in there?
So unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how much you like cats, there's no cat in that barrel. But in the Middle Ages, they would literally put a black cat in a barrel to represent evil and bad spirits, and then they would hang it by a rope somewhere in the town centre. And then you have one wooden bat, and everybody in the town takes the bat and smacks the barrel, and then eventually the barrel would break, the terrified cat would run out of the town. Obviously now it's 21st century, so this is an old picture. I think this is from 70s or 80s, and what they do instead is they just fill it with candy, and children dress up, it's kind of like a sort of sweet Scandinavian Halloween. So you don't have to be scary. You can dress up as sort of whatever you would like. You can be your favorite character or whatever, or just be an animal, and then you get the stick, and then whoever breaks the barrel first or makes the first crack in the barrel, they get a crown, and then whoever finally smashes the barrel so all the candy falls out, they get another crown, and they become what they call catacomb, so the king cat. And it's very, very popular. So here in Denmark, they have public cat barrel smashing events. So like we live in a housing complex, and they have a communal area, and they will have one this year. People also do it at parties at their own home. You can buy them in the supermarkets and bring them home and smash your own barrel if you want. And they also do it at the school as well.
Okay, so
really good fun.
So it's not weird now, but it has a dark origin.
Yeah, it has very plaguey, times suck real bad. So they were like, okay, let's try and do our best to get rid of all the bad things that are happening to us.
Oh my goodness. So essentially they tortured black cats to get good luck. It's like, let me reverse this curse by hitting a black cat.
The first, so I came to Denmark at the end of 2012, and it starts right at the beginning of the year. So very soon after I arrived at the beginning of 2013, some friends of mine just said, we're having a fastelavn party. I had no idea what this was. So they said, just dress up. So I just wore some fun clothes, turned up at their house, and they had a barrel hanging in their
oh my goodness.
room. And then everybody, and obviously when it's an adult event and it's Denmark, so everybody drinks heavily. So everybody was drunk. hitting this thing. And there was one guy who came to the party as a cricket player.
A cricket player.
So, yeah, and cricket is not popular at all in Scandinavia. I don't think anyone plays it at all. But he had deliberately come because he had a cricket bat. So he was the first time he hit it. The thing just completely exploded. But you know, the Danes, they're very much about equality and fairness. So they were very disappointed and annoyed with him that he had taken this opportunity to sort of abuse the system a little bit. But that was my first introduction to it, and it's extremely popular.
Oh my goodness, yeah, he wanted all the candy for himself.
Yeah,
I'm glad there wasn't a real cat in there though. Okay, I guess we can go to the next one, right? The next one is not so weird. It's just something that we normally do. But I think it's uncommon in other places. So what we normally do every single day is that we eat the same thing every single day. Like every single day we have like a set meal. And if you have a sandwich like during lunch in front of us, we're like, okay, yeah, let's have a sandwich, but we need real food. And what we call real food is always, and I mean always, every single day, well, at least even before I left my mother's house, every single day we used to eat. It's a dish which is rice and beans every single day. You have rice, beans, and then you have, so let me just pull up a picture. So we have, let me pull it up. Okay, rice, actually, here, we have a better image here. Here, so it's always rice, beans, and then some kind of meat and a salad. Rice, beans, fish, rice, beans, pork, rice, beans, and then you can eat a salad if you want to. Every single day.
And are people getting sick of this, or they're happy about the situation?
No, we never get sick of it. We were really like, we just really enjoy it. And sometimes we even eat beans with pasta, with macaroni and beans.
You guys love carbs.
Yeah. And we have this thing that you're seeing, kind of like a cassava flour, which is called farofa. But you can see the rice is under the meat there. So rice, beans, spaghetti, and so rice, beans is our bread and butter.
Yeah, exactly.
It's literally what we always eat: rice, beans, and something like that. Rice, beans, and then there is something that is sacred. People don't mess with the order that they eat. For example, some people eat beans on top of rice. Some people eat beans under the rice, and some people split it like this. And if you go into a discussion with a Brazilian about where the beans should be, it can lead up to like an argument. Literally, like a lot of people say it's not beans on top. And I have a viral video on TikTok where I put the beans under the rice, like I put the beans first and then rice on top. And it got 1 million views of people just insulting me, saying the beans are supposed to be on top. And then other people saying, no, it's supposed to be side by side. You don't mix it. It's just like a really crazy thing.
Wow, okay. So there's the beans on top people, the beans in the middle people, and the beans at the bottom people.
Exactly. So it's always this: rice, beans, and a salad or a meat.
I mean, it's definitely more appealing than most British food, I would say.
Well,
more nutrition, but less carbs than the average British meal.
Yeah, and we even have a bean stew called feijoada, which is beans with a lot of different pork parts: pork ear, pork tongue, pork nose, everything. Like, it's a very traditional thing. But the weird thing, the normal thing for us, which is kind of, I think you guys might find weird, is that we eat rice and beans every single day. Like, it's almost it's not a religion, but it's like a religiously we eat rice and beans.
Very nice. It sounds actually pretty good. I mean, it seems, I think maybe we are in Europe a bit obsessed with having different things all the time. But if you know what's going to be on the menu and it's very normal, then rice and beans it is.
Yeah, here's the spaghetti also.
Yeah, rice and beans and spaghetti. That is a little bit odd. I must say.
Rice, beans,
It's like
spaghetti.
all the sides. So like, we don't have enough plates in the kitchens. We've got all the sides on one plate for you.
Yeah, like the meat on the side. Well, this is probably from a restaurant, but when you do it at home, it's always rice, beans, and then either like a salad and a meat, or a salad with like pork, fish. We only change the things we mix it with, but it's always rice and beans. And of course, there are some people who don't enjoy it, but it's like, you know, it's like, if you don't like eating rice and beans, you're probably also not into football. So, and like in Brazil,
Yeah.
so you're in the minority. You're in the minority.
It's like being British and not enjoying tea. You probably get your passport taken away.
Exactly. It's the same. I think it's the same level. Like, if you don't like rice and beans, you probably don't like tea as a British person. Kind of like that same thing.
Exactly. We should just move all those people to their own separate island where they can all sort of deny their own culture.
Indeed. It's the anti-tea. Okay. Next on your list, do you have a photo for that one?
I do. The file is called HEX, which means witch in Danish.
Oh, where are we going with this one? It's called witch?
Yeah, like HEX.
Okay. Okay, so let me pull that one up. Okay, so what am I looking at here?
So this is it's not particularly Danish, but it's also traditionally Scandinavian. It's something called Sankt Hans, and it's to celebrate the middle of midsummer. So to celebrate the longest night of the year. And
do they burn witches or like?
Yeah, so the tradition actually started where there was this belief that to ward away evil spirits, they should burn witches on a great big fire, and they would fly to these certain mountains in Germany and sort of stay there. That was sort of the idea. So they wouldn't be killed, but they would sort of be transported through the sky, and Germany, where all bad things come from. So the tradition is, of course, hung on. They're not burning people anymore, but they sing a lot of songs, and they usually have. It's not really something you do on your own, but so people probably don't have their own personal bonfire unless they're really wealthy and have a big farm. But all the municipalities in Denmark, they will organize one. So there'll be parks and special places where you can go, and everybody stays up till midnight. So because of the latitude, the sun will come right down onto the horizon, but it won't go below. So you get kind of like summer solstice vibe in the sky. And then there's a lot of traditional foods. Of course, drinking. It's Denmark, Scandinavia, so people drink a lot. And they will also make something, which is my favorite, called snowbrød, which is sort of like snow bread. And you take like this wet dough, you wrap it around a stick that you pull from a bush or from a tree nearby, and then you put it in the fire. And the idea is that you're supposed to cook it into a kind of actual bread that you can eat. I don't know if you've ever made bread over a fire, but it's basically impossible.
Wow.
So the inside is completely uncooked. The outside is completely burnt. Doesn't matter. You're so drunk and it's so late that it doesn't matter anyway. And then you will eat it. But it's very, very traditional. And a lot of people let their kids stay up for it and those kind of things. It's a really nice moment to mark sort of a good feeling in the summer because, even though there's a lot of quote-unquote light during the summer in Scandinavia, the skies are still grey. I mean, you live in London, you know what I'm talking about. It's like bleak all the time. So we do our very best here to just savour any moment of sunlight that we have.
Wow. Well, I do have a question. Don't you guys have mushrooms? I feel like that would be easier.
Definitely, a lot of people also have that.
Okay, wow. So, but this is kind of like fireworks in New Year's then. The government organizes like a bonfire kind of thing. Do they get big or what?
It's very big, yeah, very, very popular. So all the big parks in all the cities will have one, maybe two or three. I used to live in the second biggest city in Denmark, and they would have multiple in every public park that you would go to. And it's just very casual event, they'll organize a big fire. Sometimes people will even bring their own witches to burn. So some school will have made a witch.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about like a neighbor, like, oh, let me get that witch and burn her. Like,
grab the Gouda, we don't like her anymore.
yeah, kind of like a purge type of ordeal.
Exactly. But again, a lot about getting rid of evil spirits and running all the evil out of town was the kind of vibe.
Okay, wow, that's pretty cool. It's nice to find like the origins of these things and also realize that they're not burning people anymore, but this tradition is still kept alive. Okay, so let me go to one of mine then. I only have 3 pictures of yours though. Did you prepare like 5 things or 3 things?
I prepared 3.
3, okay. I have 5 on my list.
Okay.
Let's see. Okay, so the next one, I don't know how weird this is. I find it weird. I find it extremely unsafe as well. And when I went to Brazil in December, I actually wanted to take pictures of my own houses because I stayed in 3 different houses to visit families, and every single one of them because obviously I know this is something that is in almost every single household, and I've seen it so many times, but I wanted to take pictures my own to show people, but I just didn't like because I don't know, it feels kind of private as well. So this is about Brazil having electric showers. Do you have electric showers outside, like in Denmark or UK?
Electric shower's dangerous, man.
Exactly, we have electric showers. We have some people obviously have gas, but we have electric showers in almost every single household in Brazil. You just plug it in and it works. It heats up the water. It's an amazing invention, but let me show you let me show you a picture of it, and I want to get your reaction to it. So this is an electric shower, and this is how it's installed.
Okay.
The wires are literally like hanging out.
So that's the first and last time you use that shower.
And there are places which are like this, and this is one of the showers that my mother-in-law has as well, and this is exactly how it's installed.
This is because there's no boiler and hot water, right? So you're using the electricity to warm up the water.
Yeah, it's probably because it's a cheaper option. So this is just like you plug it in and then you pull a few wires. And I've fixed one of these before when I was living in Brazil. You literally have to like cut the wire and then pinch it together, and then you just put the tape around it, and then it works.
Yeah, I think that's probably what somebody says during the court trial as to why Grandma has been electrocuted to death. I just pulled the wires and twisted them together.
Yeah, and it worked. So hey, we're good, right? And I have been shocked before when I was like trying to turn on the tap. I have been. So sometimes, and it's very common for us to use rubber slippers when we are taking a shower so that we won't get electrocuted.
That should be on the packaging, right?
That should
include a pair of rubber slippers so you don't hurt yourself and die.
Yeah, instead of like a 2-for-1, buy one get one free. Hey, buy one and get free slippers. That's a good. Yeah. That's a good thing.
Buy one for all the family.
But yeah, it's
it from the person before.
Yeah, it's very common. It's the most common type of shower we have, and it's very good, to be honest with you. Like it heats up really well. Because sometimes like when you have like gas, the more you open the tap, the colder it gets. This one, no, you can have like an abundant, waterfall on you, and it will still be hot. So it's good, but I find it extremely unsafe. Obviously, like I think this picture is a little bit exaggerated because the wires don't go that long. But the previous one is exactly the ones that I've seen in every house. Every house.
The thing is, if somebody said to me, this is going to be, a massage shower, one of the best showers you're ever going to have, and you're like, but there is a 5% chance you're going to get electrocuted to death, I would say thank you, but no thank you. You know what I mean? Like, it's sort of, I'm sure it's good and it's warm and it's relaxing, but I don't know if it's worth your own life.
But on the upside, it will be the best shower you will ever have before you die.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, but yeah, it's something that I don't know what the government has to say about it, because it's clearly, well, I would say it's unsafe, but we have like 220 million people, and I don't think we've had enough accidents to get this banned. So it's safe enough for it to be a thing, but it looks so dangerous and it feels so dangerous because anything you mix electricity with water, it's. But that's one of the things that we find absolutely normal. We never think about it, never even bat an eye, which other cultures will think it's weird or dangerous.
That's one thing I've always noticed. Like, maybe you experience the same in the UK, but I found it. You never see a plug in a bathroom because I feel like the UK is obsessed with safety culture. And then you go to a lot of other countries around the world, also in Europe, and they have plugs and wiring and whatnot in the bathroom next to the tap.
Yeah.
And
that's something I also noticed. Like, we don't have plugs inside, but in Brazil we have like plugs, showers, wires hanging out. It's like, hey, just casually taking a shower with the wires hanging out.
Yeah, this is where we toast the bread and where you can have a bath. So it's space saving.
Exactly. It's smart working. Okay, let's go to one of yours. I think we have one more, right?
I've only prepared 3, but my last one that I would love to show you is something called jdag. So in Danish, J, the letter J is pronounced Yule, so Yule Day. And it is when a very big company called Tuborg, who make beer, that's owned by the Carlsberg family, they released what they call their Christmas beer, so their Julebrew or their Christmas brew beer.
It's and Yule means Christmas, right? Yule
means Christmas, exactly. Okay. And it's basically a marketing trick, but it's become so popular that it's now this enormous event here. So as you can see, the guy's wearing the hat with the Tuborg branding on it, and they give away 3 blue Santa costumes that say "Have a lovely" or "Have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year." And people go around, and then it's the first Friday in November at 9 p.m. Then they hand out a lot of the free beer, and it's a special flavor of beer that they hand out. Everybody gets extremely drunk and spends a lot of money, and it's very traditional to drink at least one of these beers.
Wow.
Yourself, even though, and I can testify, nobody likes the taste of that beer. It's so disgusting. There's an old joke, which is that it's actually all the expired beer from the rest of the year just poured into tanks and mixed together.
Oh, wow. So it's like leftover beer so that you can sell it during Christmas.
That's the conspiracy, but I'm sure they actually think it tastes good. But the idea is that it's mixed with a lot of Christmas spices, but it's just it's not like a pumpkin spice latte. It's actually genuinely disgusting. So I don't recommend, but it's a huge event. So on J Day, if you're young or feeling like having some fun, then people go out and get completely drunk. And Tuborg are there in the streets handing out free beers and handing out all of these costumes and stuff. And they have people they pay to run around and give away drinks, and then the rest of us are indoors with our children with our eye masks on, screaming and crying because the next until 5 a.m. you're just going to hear people singing outside.
Oh my goodness! Wow. But it's generally safe, right? People.
Yeah, it's Denmark, so people, it's not like it's not the British way where people get so drunk they start attacking each other. It's more like they'll put their arms around each other and come to my house and let's sit in the street and act for 5 hours or sing together or whatnot. Like they're very very welcoming and warm.
Yeah, the name itself kind of is menacing. J-Day, like D-Day, like get ready for J-Day. Like it's a year, it's a day in the year where you purge yourself and just like have a lot of Yule beer.
Yeah, exactly. But what I like about it is that it's not that old. Obviously, it's only 30-something years old, but it has kind of evolved from a clearly marketing event into something that's actually been absorbed into the general culture. So now it kind of marks the beginning of Christmas, the beginning of the Christmas season, And when the Christmas beer is out, then you kind of have this Christmas mood. What's really funny is that the moment that Christmas ends, so here they celebrate everything on the 24th. So on the 25th, all of the Christmas beer is immediately on discount. So you can go and buy crates and crates of it at 5% of the original cost, and nobody is buying it or drinking it because they're like, no,
Wow.
Christmas is over. I don't have to pretend to enjoy this anymore.
Oh wow. So it's definitely a just a tradition. It's not something they, oh wait, I'm craving some Yule beer throughout the year.
Nobody is craving that. It's just one of those things, you know. But you have to, even if you don't like mince pies in England, you have to eat at least one at Christmas, right? It's just
Yeah.
part of the tradition.
Just part of the tradition. Okay, well, that's pretty cool. I have two more if you want to see them. If you think of anything else, then let me know and we'll keep going with that. I don't have a picture for the next one, but it's almost kind of like to save face from the toilet paper thing, because as I said, we are very clean people, and that's the number 4 on my list. Some people find it weird. We find it normal. Many of us we shower twice a day. Some people 3 times a day, and that's normally in the morning, after lunch, and after dinner. We brush our teeth after every meal. We eat hamburgers with napkins, pizza with knife and fork. Like, we're very germphobic. Like, I wish I had pictures, but I didn't find any pictures. But most of us, like, some people even eat hamburgers with a knife and fork also. But the general consensus is that you have to have like a napkin to hold it rather than to hold it with your bare hands. So it's very kind of like germophobic type of thing. What else? Yeah, basically that's it. What I had in the list, but we're very obsessive over cleanliness. There are some people, including my wife, who clean the house like every second they get. It's like really, really obsessive over being clean, and yeah, that's something that a lot of people do. And some people actually, like, they shower after having lunch, which I find, like, okay, I understand why you're brushing your teeth, but why shower? But anyways, it's something that just happens.
I mean, I'm not against it. I mean, if you're eating those things with napkins, I think that's a good idea. I think that often we forget that all it takes, right, is if you don't have clean hands and then you're eating a hot dog with your fingers, then you might get sick from whatever you've been touching, you know? I mean, it's just sort of, yeah, it makes more common sense. I think especially since pandemic, there's sort of a more of a kind of awareness around these things. Like before 2020, I felt like if you use the hand gel stuff, people would judge you and be like, "Oh my god, do you have some kind of mental disorder?"
Yeah.
And now it's more like, "Yeah, okay, that's kind of smart. Can I have some as well?"
Yeah, like the masks as well. At first, we were like, "Wait, why are we wearing masks? It's so weird." But actually, it makes a lot of sense. Even if you're sick now, just wear a mask. You know, don't spread the germs. But
yeah, exactly.
Which I find funny, some people were in Brazil when I saw some people were removing their masks to sneeze because they thought, you know, it's gonna get my mask dirty. Like, wait, that's the point. You're supposed to stop the germs. No, but then the germs are gonna be in here. Like, that's the whole point.
I also noticed that with people who did the opposite, where they would sneeze inside their mask, but they wouldn't even raise their hands. So they just stand there and they're like into the mask. And you sort of like, I get it, but are you not even going to do like a pretend cover up? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, maybe the mask will come off.
Yeah,
Okay. Just fly off.
We actually had a funny situation here in Denmark where, you know, we like most of the world, we had rules around really early on in the pandemic that restaurants had to shut down and public places where you would eat had to close down. But there was a special piece of legislation passed. So there were one type of restaurant that was allowed to remain open, and it was restaurants at hospitals.
What?
And it makes sense because at hospitals, if you're in the ward,
Yeah.
right, if you're admitted, there's nowhere else to eat, there's nowhere else to go. So during the pandemic, I was up there for actually nothing COVID related, for something else. I went to go and eat, and the doctor said, "Oh, if you're hungry, the canteen is open." And I remember this feeling of walking there after months of not really being in a public space with anyone else, being like, "This is the restaurant that's open, where people are 100% definitely sick, where everybody is sick."
I guess it's one of those things. If you get sick, hey, you're in the right place, so you don't even need to leave. Just stay.
That's true, right? Just directly back into the hospital. There you go.
Yeah. Wow. Does that count as one?
We can count that as one.
Okay, so I'll go to my next one. The last one I have on my list is in Brazil, we have every single type of food, every type of food, but it sometimes has nothing to do with the original one. Absolutely nothing to do with the original one. So let's start with a Brazilian hot dog. So, hot dogs normally it's like well, let's say Americans, they normally have like a bun and a hot dog. In Brazil, it's something a little bit more. So we have like this. This is a Brazilian hot dog. This is
Wow.
so you have the bun, you have the hot dog, and then you have corn, peas. These are potato sticks, mayo, and you have like mustard. Obviously, all the sauces. But sometimes we add chicken, like shredded chicken. And in where I come from, my city, we even put mashed potato on top, like cement, to cement everything together so it won't fall off, which is very very smart. So this is what a Brazilian hot dog looks like. I have other pictures as well. Wait, let me open. For some reason, it's not opening. Okay, we have sushi, which we add, like we have strawberry sushi. Wait, that's a video. Yeah, these cookies. Okay, so we have like chocolate Nutella sushi. Let me open it over here.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah, so we have a lot of different things like sushi.
How would the Japanese feel about it if they saw that?
I'm not sure. And don't even get me started with the pizza. Let me see if I can find a Brazilian pizza. We have a lot of different ingredients on the pizza, which are the craziest things. Like, yes, if you're, this is definitely like a crazy thing. We have like this is a full roast on a pizza.
Oh my god! Yeah, wow. Okay, that's like 3 different meals in one.
So yeah, these type of pizzas like we have, which is very common in Brazil. Like we mix like the center of the pizza. Sometimes we make it sweet, or we have like the crust. The crust sometimes is sweet. So yeah, these are some weird stuff we have in Brazil. So it's very sacrilegious what we do with food. It's like,
yeah, I was going to say that there's all those memes about Americans putting pineapple on pizza and Italians being offended. I think that they would literally have a revolution in Brazil.
yeah,
Like, you put chocolate and Smarties and bottles of wine and roast chicken on your pizza.
goodness. Oh, so this is a very classic. We call it pudim, which is kind of like a pudding. I don't know why there's a tire on that one, but I've seen this pizza before, like, which is a pudding in the middle. So yeah,
You kind of eat your way to the center. I kind of see that.
but I don't know the tire one, why it's there, like honestly. But the other ones are common. That one is just weird. Even we think it's weird.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, so we have every type of food, but we don't really like the way it's originally made, so we make it ourselves. Oh, this one is a classic. We have a thing called coxinha, which is kind of like it's our main. It's one of our staple dishes. So we have that on the crust. So these are coxinhas. So yeah, it's something that we do. We get food from every single place, but we make it our own. like every cuisine you can think of, we've adapted it into the Brazilian style.
Yeah, it's like fusionified. Like you've taken all these different elements or
Yeah.
mixed them together.
Even the stroganoff, we made it different. Originally, like I've heard it's different from this, but we added I think milk, cream, stuff like that. So that's what a Brazilian stroganoff looks like, with potato sticks, rice.
Wow. So go to Brazil and taste all the world's cuisines blended together.
Exactly. Yeah, so I actually, okay, this is, I think, the original stroganoff, just for comparison. It's kind of like something lighter, right? That's the original. You have mushrooms, you have meat, and then a sauce. And the Brazilian one is like heavy cream, and it's like you can see the consistency is different. It's kind of like a, yeah.
I'm just thinking, if you're flying out of Brazil and you haven't yet had a heart attack, do they give you like a refund on your holiday or something?
I guess so.
Did you eat the roast chicken pizza while you were here?
But honestly, if you go to Brazil and you don't indulge in food, it's kind of like a capital sin, because we have every single type of food, and we don't like, nobody does it like Brazil. I don't think so. I've seen people do crazy stuff with pizza in like the United States and stuff like that, but there's nothing compared to Brazil. And we have giant portions, bigger than the ones you see in America. Have you been to a Brazilian steakhouse?
I mean, I've been to Brazil.
Oh, you've been to Brazil?
I've been to Brazil, yeah.
Whereabouts?
I went to Salvador, Rio, and Sao Paulo.
Oh, nice.
I did all the cities.
Oh, that's nice. Did you see any of these type of foods?
I mean, I remember the portions being absolutely mental. And like, I remember arriving in Salvador and was staying with this, like, this friendly man. And I can't even explain it. It was like a kind of like a folded bread thing filled with shrimp and sauce. And
Wow.
God knows what else was there. But it was literally cascading and dripping. And he decided to give this to us at pickup at the airport. So he was like, "Welcome to Brazil. This is very traditional in Salvador," and like thrust it into our hands. And I was like, wrecking a suitcase. It's 40 degrees Celsius. I'm dripping with sweat. I haven't slept. I've got jet lag, and I'm trying to eat like a rim baguette.
I think it's called bobó de camarão. Is it this one? And then you had the lid on top.
Let's have a look.
This is a classic Salvador dish, bobó de camarão.
Yeah,
in bread.
It was not as beautiful. I remember he bought it from a street vendor, and it was not as pretty as that, but it probably was the same thing.
Oh, they also have acarajé in Salvador, which is this one over here. Acarajé. Maybe you ate acarajé.
Yeah, actually, that. Yes, that is it. That is what he handed us. But it was huge. I mean, it was like this. It was like half a loaf of bread. It was full on.
Yeah, we have some crazy foods in Brazil. But did you like it at least, or not many people like acarajé though?
I remember. Didn't you? You actually have to eat the prawns with the shells on, right?
I think it's optional, but if you have it filled in the thing there, it's quite like hard to remove the shell.
Yeah, that was what I remember about it. Is like, but also it was very. It wasn't like I had a shower and a glass of water, but it was like I'm now sweating and walking down a busy road, dragging a suitcase while trying to eat this and not be impolite.
Yeah.
Like, oh, lovely, please, please sit down.
It looks like kind of like tacos, but it's Brazilian made.
Yeah, exactly. That was it. But it was covered in sauce. I mean, heaving with sauce.
Yeah, it's quite spicy. It can get quite spicy as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed Brazil. Brazil is an amazing place. We do have our faults, right? But it's amazing.
was good fun, and you should, for your followers, I think you should do a Nordic visit at some point.
Yeah,
They're
I
very,
was.
very cheap.
Yeah, I was in Norway last year, my very first time in Scandinavia. But I need to go to Denmark. I need to visit Denmark.
You would be very welcome.
Thank you so
There's
much.
lots of fun things to see and do in Denmark.
Yeah, I vlogged my visit to Norway, so I plan on doing that on like in Denmark and in Sweden also. I just need like the kind of like the time and the resources to go, because it gets very expensive, doesn't it, in Denmark?
Yeah, I mean, I think people think Denmark is expensive, but like Copenhagen is expensive. I think that's the issue. Do you know how it is? Like people think, oh, it's expensive in Britain, but it's like, yeah, if you go to London, but if you go to, some horrible place up north that no one's ever heard of,
I was gonna say something. I was gonna say, I was gonna mention, but then when you say a horrible place, I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna say anything anymore, because then it's like, think of a horrible city. Whatever I say, people will hate me in that place. It's like,
it's the same in Denmark. If you go outside of the 3, 4, 5 big cities, things get relatively cheap, and you can eat really cheap. But yeah, if you're on a bit of a budget, Copenhagen, you can do it. You can do it relatively cheap. You just need to choose your spots. You would be very, very welcome.
Okay, thank you so much. I think we can wrap it up there, right? Unless you have anything weird you want to share.
No. Just thank you so much for having me.
Yes, thank you so much. It was really nice having you here, and hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. So do you want to share anything that you're doing? Any shows, any tours, anything?
Yeah, I do a lot of stand-up comedy in Denmark. So I have a website, conradmolden.dk, and there I have a big list of shows that I do over here. And then on top of that, if you're interested in Scandinavia, especially wordplay, I have a lot of comedy on YouTube. So you can find me on social media, you can find clips and all of these kind of things.
Okay,
so,
guys.
If you're in Denmark, I'm very welcome to a show. I have a lot of tours. If you scroll down, you'll see I have a lot of shows coming up. I think I'm going to 34 cities, which you wouldn't even think that there are 34 cities in Denmark, but apparently there are.
Wow. Got a lot of tours, a lot of shows. So if you guys want to check it out, if you're in Denmark and you want to check it out, then just go to the website, conradmolden.dk, right?
Exactly. And of course, if you're not specials or jokes about Denmark and Danish culture at my YouTube channel.
Okay, I'm going to link your YouTube channel in the description. And thank you so much, guys.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Paul. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Guys, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and go check out Conrad's YouTube channel. And I'll see you on the next video. If you want to request a video, click over here or over here, and go over here to watch my Denmark playlist. I'll see you. Take care now. Bye-bye.